They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the vote. Even before you do that, and not even including that, that's why I hardly even included that number, although in one state we have a tremendous amount of dead people, so I don't know. I'm sure we do in Georgia too. I'm sure we do in Georgia too. Really, how many people do that? You mean they moved out and then they said, "Ah, the hell with it, I'll move back in"? You know, it doesn't sound like a very normal. You mean they moved out and what? They missed it so much that they wanted to move back in? Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and then
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Jeff. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. And then they have cans of soup. Soup. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. You're so innocent. My family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television.
My opinion is never too late. Little double sound deck. So that's the story, folks. Well, yeah, it was the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter. They were chanting, "Pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month. Who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote? All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives, so these Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese, a real beautiful company.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.
Get your words straight, Jack. I gotta go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
Antifa exists.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. And then they have cans of soup. As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Really, how many people do that? You mean they moved out and then they said, "Ah, the hell with it, I'll move back in." You know, it doesn't sound like a very normal. You mean they moved out and what? They missed it so much that they wanted to move back in? Yeah, it's like, it's crazy.
Well, and then
it's crazy. I love that shit. It's so good. Hello, users, and welcome to the broadcast. It is Above It All episodic installation 1070. And we got a lot of text on the screen. Look at that. Look at that. What the fuck is happening up here on the layout? If you're listening to the audio podcast, then welcome. Clearly, you're in a better position because there's so much text on the screen. I'm going to be covering the senatorial elections, as they are referred to, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be beginning the stream. And so what I'm going to be doing for that stream is basically going to be like one of these streams. Any stories that I don't get to today, or rather this morning, I will I'll put it on the back burner and I'll do it tonight. So in between looking at some senatorial election results, I'll do some more segments and stuff. So that's kind of what the platform or that's kind of what's going on here. Hello, Jnez78. Hello, Baku. Hello, Felix Cornelius. Hello, Jonathan Sanchez. Hello, Aitor Vicente. Hello, Sam Talarico. Hello, Unknown Stoyle. Hello, JL. Hello, Torin Vliestra. Hello, Nicholas Nordland. Hello, no one else. Hello, Y2K, who's not here anymore. Hello, no one else. All right, so hello, Taurus guy. All right, so room tour. Not today, buddy, unfortunately. I am here, say hello or perish. I would not like to do that. Anyway, hopefully my heater is not making a tremendous amount of noise. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it triggers me. Can you hear that? Can you hear the heater? Is it audible? I feel like it's audible. It's gotta be audible, right? It's audible. Alright, so Max is on the floor, he's licking himself. Look at that. Look at this fucking dog. You see that? Look at that dog. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the show today. So, again, I will be covering the senatorial elections later today. So basically a two-parter. I've been doing that basically every day for the last couple of days. I've been doing like a 2-parter. So yeah, that's the idea. And tonight will be no exception. Tomorrow will also be no exception, because tomorrow's the joint session of Congress where they verify the Electoral College. So tomorrow I will be streaming that. I will be streaming both the joint session of Congress. I might even I don't know. I'm going to also probably try to find some DC ground live streams. And there's going to be a lot of shit going on tomorrow. So that's going to be a thing. So basically, I'm going to be streaming all day, every day for no reason. Anyway, I would like to get into this because I am going to be covering the senatorial elections. I would like to play a clip of a senatorial electable candidate named Kelly Loeffler. She was appointed to her Senate seat. She was an unelected corporate elite that was given a Senate seat because she is too much of a loser to win it by herself. So here is her on Fox News. And so she disagreed with the president in regards to the NDAA. And so this is her trying to, I forget this fucking guy's name, but this guy's trying to ask her about that. And this is some beautiful, this is someone who has got no charm, no charisma. She just was given a sheet of paper and then she's sticking to it. She knows what to do.
January 5th. That's what I'm fighting for, is to preserve the future of our country.
Understanding the campaigning is important, and you're saying how important this election is on January 5th, but obviously Georgia is a big defense state, current and former military here, defense business here. How would you have voted had you voted on that veto override?
Well, look, I voted to support the NDAA. The bill that came out of conference was very different from what we'd been promised. So I don't know. I was here in Georgia working across the state, and I will continue to stand with our men and women in the military. Raphael Warnock will not stand for our military. He's attacked them. He said you can't serve God and serve in the military.
Right, but you would have sustained the veto, the president's veto, on the NDAA.
Look, what's at stake here is our military and our freedoms.
I love it.
Those are what's on the ballot right now.
It's going to get really good in just a second here. But again, just her ability. Again, she just doesn't care. And she's so, also, what the fuck is with the bit rate? She literally looks like evil right here. She looks literally evil. You see that shit? With the eyebrow raised and the nose and the mouth and, the blue. I don't know. That's an evil looking motherfucker. But anyway, her ability to just speak without any acknowledgement of the dumbass bullshit that she's saying, impressive.
Those are what's on the ballot right now. And I'm the daughter and granddaughter of veterans. We're the 5th largest state for veterans and active duty military here in Georgia. I have fought for our military and made sure that we get the funding we need. And we're going to continue to do that. But if we don't win on January 5th, our military will be defunded and worse.
I won't belabor it, but that's not a yes or no whether you would sustain the veto or not.
That's right.
Okay, you're not answering that. Listen, Senator Joe Manchin...
Again, she just goes in. She's like, that's right. That's correct. That's exact. Everything, the gobbledygook that I was just spewing from my pores for the last minute and a half or so, fuck it, whatever.
You're not answering that. Listen, Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat from West Virginia, has said voters in this runoff...
Yeah, who cares?
January 5th. And we're going to continue to carry and worse.
I won't belabor it, but that's not a yes or no whether you would sustain the veto or not.
That's right.
Okay, you're not answering...
I would just like to remind everyone that the other candidate on the Republican ticket for the senatorial elections is currently in quarantine because he was campaigning so hard and without any masks because they restrict your freedom, and he got, he got exposed to coronavirus, so he can't even campaign. So Kelly is out there kind of holding it, for two. She's trying to make this winnable for both of them because really it's unlikely for one of them to win and one of them to lose. I feel like if Kelly loses, it's possible that David wins. I think Kelly is the weaker of the candidates, but either way, it's pretty embarrassing, and, this is the absolute state of the Republican Party. So, what are you going to do, I guess? I don't know. But, no good. No good. No good, no good, no good.
No good. No good.
Yeah, Confederate veterans. That's a good one. Reminder, she was campaigning with a Klansman. But, whatever. What are you going to do? So I got another thing here. I've got a thing, And so let's get into this thing. So, oh god, I hate when that happens. Okay, so, hello everyone, welcome to the broadcast. Okay, so 65% of Americans support monthly, not just single, monthly $2,000 coronavirus relief payments. Monthly, again, not just a one-time $2,000, monthly $2,000. In a new national poll, 65% of voters say they would support a monthly $2,000 direct cash payment to every American for the duration of the pandemic. Back, also, retroactive, right? Start from March, give us $2,000 for each month, right? And just go from there. In fact, fuck it, February. 60% of independent voters support the measure, along with 54% of Republicans. Even a majority of Republicans support this. Not a single $2,000 payment, monthly $2,000 payments. So, wowee. Alright, so in total, 65% of voters support, 32% of voters oppose, 3% don't know, and then we have some a little bit of a more chart, whatever. I don't know how to read charts. I dropped out of high school. What the fuck? Yeah, so as you can see, again, Democrats very strongly support this idea. I don't know why there's a difference between strongly support and somewhat support. Like, how much of a fucking brain-dead loser do you have to be to go like, $2,000 is a good idea, but I don't know, like, and what is that, like, what? I think it's a good idea, but is it a good idea? I'm not sure. I kind of support this idea, but at the same time, it could be a better idea. Like, I don't know, that's a little weird. But again, 52% of Democrats strongly support it, so hell yeah. By the way, what happened in the Senate last week? Right. Remind me, what was Chuck Schumer doing? He was giving a strong speech. I was like, yo, Chuck's got his hands in his pocket. He looks like a gangster. And then an hour later, he's like, okay, never mind. This filibuster's a good idea. I guess, to analogize this, Chuck Schumer was somewhat supportive of the $2,000 stimulus package. That's why when push came to shove, he just got rid of the filibuster and proceeded to vote on the defense bill, right? So he was somewhat supportive, I guess. I don't know. But this is a pretty decent poll, and, Data for Progress, I feel like they're okay. Though I feel like they gave us some interesting polls over the course of the 2020 election. But either way, I mean, take 10 points off, and it's still like a good win. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yo, I didn't brush my hair this morning. Can you see this shit? Look at that. Oh my god. This is what happens when I don't brush my hair in the morning. Like, look at me. Holy fuck. Anyway, hello, No Mickey. Welcome to the broadcast. Hello, Drello Stams. Hello, Thorman. Hello, Top Damage Wizard. Yo, I'm drinking mad coffee right now. Woo! Alright. That's my second cup of coffee. I've got some interesting milk in here. I picked up a carton of cashew, almond, and pea milk. That's right, pea milk. You're thinking, what? So they isolate some of the protein from the peas, and then they put it in the almond and cashew milk. I don't know. I got it. It was $2 for a half gallon, and now I've got that in my coffee. So there you go. Boom. Pretty good, huh? I think it's pretty good. Yeah. So, again, I just want to reiterate, I will be, they did what in your milk? Shut up. I will be doing live senatorial election coverage at 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, another thing I'm going to say is I'm going to try to get more guests on my show. Over the last couple of weeks, I have, gotten some more guests on my show, and I'm going to try to continue to do that. And also, I'm going to try to continue going on other people's programs. I believe last week I was on the Rondane Holler Report, and he said he would upload that today, I think. Is today Monday or Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. I don't know. He said he would upload it, so I'll get you that link. I'm going to go on Not Safe for Wonks again. After a long hiatus, I will be back on their program tomorrow, so that should be fun. And I'm going to try to get more people on my show. I'm going to try to, that's just going to be what I'm going to do. The only problem is, I'm not good at having, there's very few people that are able to keep up with me. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's very few people that are able to keep up with my energy levels, with my level of my speech. You know, I've got some speech. And some would even say that I support free speech, some could say. Let me click through my tabs while I say that. But some could say that I even support free speech. And so this has been something that's been going on over the last couple days. It appears, and now I just want to underscore this with, it's totally possible that, like, you know, it's a coincidence, right? It's possible, right? Like, Joe Biden had to, quit running for president in 1988 over plagiarism. So, I mean, Kamala Harris plagiarizing, Joe Biden plagiarizing. I mean, it's possible that it's just an accident, right? And we're all overreacting to this. It's possible it's a right-wing hit job and we're all overreacting to this. But at the same time, I don't give a shit. And it's funny. So I've got this new story here of apparently Kamala Harris had like a biography written about her or something I don't know, whatever. And in that biography, she told a story that appears to have been ripped from a Martin Luther King Jr. Interview. And so I've got this little thing here. And then I've got the Kamala Harris version. So I'm going to read the Kamala Harris version first, and then we'll go from there. So Senator Kamala Harris, I need to get like background music, like the pretending to be serious music. Someone like try to find some like royalty free, like pretend. I need to get something. I need to expand the musical capabilities. But Senator Kamala Harris started her life's work young. She laughs from her gut, the way you would with family, as she remembers being wheeled through an Oakland, California civil rights march in a stroller with no straps, with her parents and her uncle. At some point, she fell from the stroller. Parents, few safety regulations existed for children's equipment back then. Thank you for the history lesson. And the adults, caught up with the rapture of protest, just kept on marching. By the time they noticed little Kamala was gone and doubled back, she was understandably upset. My mother tells the story about how I was fussing, Harris says, and she's like, "Baby, what do you want? What do you need?" And I just looked at her and I said, "Freedom." Unbelievable. So now let's read the Martin Luther King interview. I never will forget a moment in Birmingham when a white policeman accosted a little Negro girl, 7 or 8 years old, who was walking in a demonstration with her mother. "What do you want?" the policeman asked her gruffly, and the little girl looked him straight in the eye and answered, "Freedom!" She couldn't even pronounce it, but she knew. It was beautiful. Many times when I have been in sorely trying situations, the memory of that little one has come into my mind and has buoyed me. So that's what Martin Luther King said. And so is it possible that Kamala Harris had a similar interaction as a kid? Totally possible. It's possible, right? It's one of those things that it's very possible. Is it likely? Well, that's a different calculation. Is it likely? I don't know. But is it possible? Hey. So, interestingly enough, other times Kamala Harris has been, in a position where she could lie or tell the truth. She said she supported $2,000 stimulus payments. And then, when push came to shove, she voted to proceed with the vote for the defense bill. So she said she supported $2,000 stimulus payments. And then as soon as she got the opportunity to fight for those payments, she was like, nah, brah. I'm just going to vote for the defense bill and go back home. So she doesn't have a good track record with telling the truth over the last couple of weeks. So I don't know. Is it possible that she wanted that freedom? Maybe. Is it likely? I'll let you speak on that one yourself, because I don't want to be on the record in any which way, except by saying, yeah, no, she totally fucking lied, and it's honestly a little embarrassing. So, throwing that out there. And that little girl was Joe Biden. Yep, the little girl was Joe Biden. Mayo Pete is a slime ball. I agree with that. Mayor Pete also plagiarized his entire existence. I agree with that. That is a factual statement. Hello, K-pop girl. Hello, Carla Curley. Hello, Bryce Primo. Dora went full victim last night? What happened? Give me this. Oh my god. Sometimes when I drink coffee, I get a little, you know. But give me the scoop. This is a great time to enter the live stream. I agree. Again, I've got, I'm going to be streaming the senatorial elections live at 7 p.m. If anyone is interested in watching, you know, feel free to watch. I'll see if I can get like a guest on. I'm not sure. I don't know. Can I get someone on? Can I get someone between now and 7 o'clock? Do I have that kind of outreach? Is it possible? It probably isn't possible, but I'll try. But at the same time, if I do get a guest on, it doesn't matter because my show is entertaining regardless. That's the thing with my show, that there's a lot of shows out there, and I'm not going to name any names. I don't want to, you know, get involved in internet drama, but there's a lot of shows out there that are boring, and they rely on the fact that they get guests because, you know, without those guests, who the fuck would watch the show, right? There's a lot of shows out there like that, and again, I'm not going to name any names, but my show is not that. If anything, when I get a guest, the show gets worse, right? That's typically how this tracks. Whenever I have a guest on, people leave the stream. It's like, oh, what the hell? This stream is boring now. So anyway, I'm just fucking shit posting. Where else was I? Okay. I've got this interesting, very interesting actually. I've got a very interesting clip here. Some would even say it's an intriguing clip. Some could also say that this is a clip of which will lead you to question your existence. This clip will lead you to you know, just really, it's a very, if you're watching this clip and you're like really just thinking about life, you know, this clip can maybe send you in a nice direction of pontification and introspection. But here's Brian Kilmeade both misgendering and then also misidentifying Cori Bush. Cori Bush, we all know Cori Bush. He is a wonderful congressman-elect, and I believe he was from a school or something. And I don't know, but Cori Bush, great guy. Let's watch.
But Cori Bush is somebody who is making a lot of noise for himself. Not only...
Again, Cori Bush making a lot of noise for himself. He's doing a really good job in there. And so let me show you the tweet with Cori Bush. Like, clearly, with like, just the idea that the tweet is on screen and he doesn't correct himself is the best part.
Who is making a lot of noise for himself, not only calling capitalism a form of slavery, but saying
I love that because that is a quote from Jamal Bowman. These people are so dumb. Like, okay, so Cori Bush is a man, and then also Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman are the same person. When one says something, both of them say something. Like, this is a bizarre thing. I don't.
Somebody who is making a lot of noise for himself, not only calling capitalism a form of slavery, but saying, I am a proud member of the squad, which is now increasing in size. But many people say, don't be deceived. They are not increasing in power. But Cori Bush...
Don't be deceived. They're not increasing in power. I mean, I guess, if, you know, typically... When you get more elected members of Congress, typically your power increases. But when you're the squad, right? When you're the squad, it's the inverse. The more members of Congress you get, the more your power decreases when it's the squad. Now, I know you might be confused, right? But again, you're failing to understand the facts and logic in this whole conversation. There's both facts and then also logic, and they both work together. And Cori Bush is a great guy. I've known Cori for a long time, and he's great. He's a wonderful person. Imagine you work for a fucking major news outlet, like, seriously. And the other aspect of this that is also bizarre is, like, you would think they would know who Cori Bush is. She came from Ferguson. She was a Black Lives Matter, like, activist. Like, the whole year of 2020, for, like, you know, from May onward, was BLM Antifa terrorists. All black people are evil. They're all evil. Oh no, if you look outside, the black people are gonna run through the streets, rioting and looting. That's what Fox News was doing for 6 months. And somehow, they still don't know that Cori Bush came from the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, you'd think they'd be all over that shit. You'd think they'd be like, oh my god, the Black Lives Matter... the black people have invaded Congress. You'd think that that's what they would be doing, but they don't even know who she is. And that's how bad these people are at their jobs. Like, oh my God. But anyway, it's pretty cringe. And of course, again, huge shout out to Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman. Again, capitalism is in fact a form of slavery. That is a factual statement that is not up for debate. I'm sorry if you disagree with that statement. I would love to engage in a spirited debate. As always, as it says right up here on the screen, I accept all debate challenges. So if you disagree with my assertion that capitalism is slavery, you're welcome on the program so that I can make fun of you in front of my entire audience. That is more than welcome. And also, that is all I have to say. So I can't think of anything else. So I'm gonna move on. What else do we have here? All right, so let's talk about this one. All right, so this is actually really funny. So you see this dumb motherfucker right here. And so this dumb motherfucker took credit for this. Remember a couple weeks ago, these very, very interesting individuals. Like I would even go as far as to say that these individuals are of profound interest. So basically, they tore down property and decided to destroy it. And they were okay. So this is the weird part about this: is they were screaming "fuck Antifa" while they were burning a Black Lives Matter banner. Again, like what?
Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
So that's weird. That's super weird. So the guy in charge of the Proud Boys decided to take the fall. He was arrested yesterday, and I'm going to read from the New York Times because I love the New York Times and I'm a corporate sellout and I get all my news from the New York Times. So with that being said, let's move on. Washington. The leader of the Proud Boys, the far-right group that has vocally supported President Trump's efforts to overturn the election results, was arrested on Monday on charges of destruction of property. He arrived in Washington to protest the congressional certification of the election later this week, according to a person familiar with the matter. Enrique Tarrio, the chairman of the Proud Boys, was arrested by Metropolitan Police on suspicion of burning a Black Lives Matter banner torn from a historic black church in Washington during protests last month that led to several violent clashes, including stabbings around the city. A spokesman for the Metropolitan Police Department confirmed that Mr. Tarrio, 36, has been arrested on charges of destruction of property stemming from a mid-December incident in downtown Washington. Upon his arrest, he was found to be in possession of 2 high-capacity firearm magazines and charged accordingly with possession. That's actually really epic. That's actually hilarious. What a dumbass. The arrest also pits the Justice Department against some of Mr. Trump's most ardent supporters. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington acts as the main prosecutor's office for the District of Columbia. This is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. I love this shit. I love this shit. Reminder, the Republican Civil War is coming and it's going to be great. Just wait until the senatorial elections are over and Donald Trump can finally take the mask off because he no longer has to feel like he has to cover for the senatorial elections, right? It's going to be great. A police spokesman did not immediately respond to a request for comment. I don't care. A lawyer for Mr. Tarrio could not also be immediately located, and Mr. Tarrio could not be reached. Well, that was a great sentence that conveyed a lot of information. Mr. Trump exhorted his supporters to descend on Washington to express their dismay with the certification of the election of President-elect Joseph R. Biden II on New Year's Day. He promoted what he described as the big protest rally in Washington. The big protest rally in Washington, D.C. will take place at 11 a.m. on January 6th. Locational details to... Locational. I love that. Donald Trump goes out there and says senatorial elections, and then he goes out there and says locational details. Fucking locational details. I will provide the locational details very shortly. Anyway, I'm not going to read. Actually, I am. Let me make this simple, he said. I did it. So a guy, I don't know if he actually did it, but he's taking credit for it. And so that's going to be interesting. We're going to see how this goes. But again, I'm going to be streaming the joint session of Congress tomorrow. I might also be just streaming the whole day. Like, should I just start at 10 a.m. and if these protests have live streams, just continue from 11? Should I just stream the whole day tomorrow? Because who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? Like, people could die tomorrow. It's totally possible. Like, think about the culmination of everything that's been going on. Think about all the protesters that were shot and killed during the summer, right? Think of all the escalating violence all the way up until this. This is their last chance. I guess maybe Inauguration Day is their last chance, right? But they've been kicking this can down the road. And the can has, like, let's say it's a full can of Coca-Cola. And they've been kicking this can down the road. At some point, the carbonation is going to build up and the can's going to explode. Is that going to be tomorrow? Or is that going to be on the inauguration? Or is that going to be at some other point? Who knows? But at some point, this can of high fructose corn syrup and carbonated water is going to explode, and it could be tomorrow. So I don't know. But if you're going to these events, be sure to be safe. Because again, seeing all the stuff that's happened, if you are going to a protest, you need to have a buddy. If you don't have a buddy, you don't go. That's simple. You just don't go. I know. Well, this and that, and if you don't have a buddy, you don't go to a protest. End of story, okay? There is no if, there is no and, there is no, but I wanna. If you don't have a buddy system that's willing to stay there for the whole time with you, with full consent, then you don't go to a protest. That is first and foremost. But again, if anyone wants to link me streams of any of this stuff, even if it's from far-right sources, I don't care. I'd be more likely to watch a far-right stream just because it's funnier, So, link me the streams tomorrow and we'll see how that goes. But again, leader of the Proud Boys, that's interesting. That's very interesting. It's certainly, it's interesting. There's no context. I just want to listen to this again. I'm sorry.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
I'm sorry. I just, randomly throughout the day, I listened to that piece of audio. The black robe and the black shield. What the fuck? Does anyone, has anyone figured out what the fuck Donald Trump is talking about? The black robe, the black shield. What? What? Seriously, I don't understand. All right, okay, so let's get into this story because it's related. So the mayor of Washington, D.C. has decided to activate the National Guard ahead of tomorrow's protests. Finally, actually, some preemptive realization and acknowledgement that the right wing is always, not 90% of the time, not 99% of the time, the right wing is 100% of the time the ones that instigate violence at these protests. That is a known fact. There is no debate on that. And again, if you want to debate on that basic fact, you're more than welcome to come on my show. But if that triggers you, you're more than welcome to come on my show and we can have a conversation about it. But there is not a single instance of violence that was not incited by right-wingers. Now, I call and I lump in cops as right-wingers. Have you ever met a left-wing cop? Right? Okay, so, case closed. So let's read this. Bracing for possible violence, the nation's capital has mobilized the National Guard ahead of the planned protest by President Donald Trump's supporters in connection with the congressional vote, expected Wednesday to affirm Joe Biden's election victory. Now, remember, I believe it was June 1st, 2020, when Donald Trump and Bill Barr activated the National Guard. There was a story leaked that one of the National Guardsmen was actually a neo-Nazi. And when I say a neo-Nazi, I'm legit talking like the guy posted on Stormfront, the guy posted on 8chan, the guy said he wants to kill black people, and he was also in the National Guard, and he was deployed at a Black Lives Matter protest with a live firearm that he pointed at protesters. Now, this guy has since been taken care of and fired, but again, the point remains. You can't trust law enforcement. However, I want to say, again, this is some preemptive acknowledgement that right-wingers are a problem, and that's the win. That's the win. Now, it's a loss in terms of, the fact that there's going to be right-wing occupants just terrorizing the city. Because, again, these National Guardsmen, a lot of them are not vetted. If they're going to have a neo-Nazi go to a Black Lives Matter event in June, what makes them not have a neo-Nazi go to the event tomorrow? So that's something, again, I want to very... And you can look this up. I did a video on it, so if you want to go watch that, you can do so. Trump supporters are planning to rally on Tuesday and Wednesday, seeking to bolster the president's unproven claims of widespread voter fraud. There are people intent on coming to our city armed, D.C. Acting Police Chief Robert Conti said. Again, the leader of the Proud Boys was arrested with armaments, right? So that is another thing that, you know, that's what they're doing. These dumb motherfuckers think that they're fighting in the second revolution. Like, I know, right? Like, you thinking, like, LMAO, right? No, they actually think, oh, I'm fighting. I'm gonna be the modern day George Washington. That's what fucking Enrique Tarrio thinks he is. Like, these people are fucking dumb as shit, man. And again, I want to be very, very, very explicit that
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ
would ever risk their lives for Donald fucking, like, imagine, right? Like that guy who died in Portland because he was like, you know, whatever, right? The guy who died in Portland, imagine you get shot and you're bleeding out and you're dying on the pavement, right? And your last thought, right, before the light goes out of your eyes, your last thought is, I did this for my president. Like, I'm not even joking. That Jay Bishop dude, the guy that got shot and killed in Portland for trying to mace people, right? Imagine you bleed out on the asphalt and your last thought is, I gave my life to President Trump. Like, I know, right? Like, can you imagine? But again, in the words of our president,
only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
I just like, these people are very, very spectacular individuals. I'm not going to bother reading the rest of this. It's just, you know, we already know what's going on. But that's interesting. The National Guard are going to Washington. Let's see what happens. This is going to be interesting. My God. Unbelievable. They aren't the only ones who think they're at war. I had a door follow tell me we are at war just last night. Yeah, these guys are going to primary AOC. That's what their strategy is, right? They're going to primary AOC. And then what? This is the problem with Jimmy Dore people. All right, we're going to primary AOC, and then what? Is that person going to fight for a floor vote and not get it? That one person that you primary AOC, that one person is going to be able to get a floor vote of Medicare for All that fails? Okay, so the plan is to primary AOC, which is, that's 2 years from now. So we have 2 years bare minimum. And then let's say you win the primary. All right, awesome. AOC's lost the election. So then your person gets in there. And then they force the vote. Wait, no, except they can't because they're only one person in Congress and they can't force the vote. So they don't force the vote. And then they just scream on Twitter and then do nothing in Congress. And then that's a win. Okay, great plan. Great plan. I love it. All right, speaking of great plans, this will be like the long segment for today, and I think I'll get into the rest of this tomorrow. You know what? No, I've got to do this one now. Okay, I've got 2 more segments. I'm sorry, I have to do this one now. It really is just too good. This is too good. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't like, there's no, like, usually I do, like, in these videos, I do in these clips and segments, I do like an introduction. I tell you, like, okay, so this and that, and then, but I don't know. This I just don't know. So Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene says on Twitter, it's time to stop the steal. Call your senators, call your House reps. Let's do this. And then she posts a little video. It's only got 8 views. Are you kidding? Oh, I think I put this in a, let me refresh it. Oh no. Oh no, I lost the video. Oh no. Oh, why did she delete the tweet? What? Oh, fuck me. Fuck me. Are you kidding me? I almost had an exclusive. Are you fucking, did she retweet that? Hold up. I'm pissed. This sucks. Hold up. It's just gone. She just fucking deleted it. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just make fun of this video. It's all the same shit. I was gonna make fun of her because she was having in her hand, she had a purple can of Monster, right? And I'm a huge Monster fan. At least I was back when I was addicted to energy drinks, right? But she was walking on the stairs with a can of Monster saying, we're gonna stop the steal. And it was really funny. It was an 8-second video. But I guess she deleted it. I don't know why. It was did Monster reach out to her? Big energy drink reach out to Marjorie Taylor Greene and say, hey, about that Monster, can you please delete that? Anyway, she does these, it was like, she does this really weird videos where she's just walking around and says something and it's like 10 seconds. This is the same thing. Let's watch.
I just voted no on Nancy Pelosi's rules. We're not going to get rid of gender, we're not getting rid of family names, and we're not playing by those games.
That ruined my segment. I'm sorry. Fuck you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Fuck you. I had this whole segment lined up, and then now it's bunk. Thanks a lot. Fucking bitch. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so, for those of you that are here, this is what I'm going to do next. Tulsi Gabbard on Tucker Carlson, transphobia. I know, right? Can you imagine? But before I get there, this will be my last segment of the day. Hello, Antifa Sophia. This will be my last segment of the day, or at least today's broadcast. By today, this morning's broadcast, because I will be back at 7 with the senatorial election coverage. So I've got some other stuff that I was going to talk about this morning, but I'll just talk about that later. So at 7, I'm basically just going to do a whole nother show, and then in between segments, we'll look at the results. That's going to be the way I'm going to do it. But I want to say again, thank you for watching so far, everyone. I'm debating getting high for this because, like, watching Tulsi Gabbard and Tucker Carlson without being high, like, that's definitely a challenge. So I'm debating getting high for this. Give me, like, a yes or no. Like, what do you think? Like, should I do that? I say as I'm doing. That wasn't, like, there's not up for debate. I'm just gonna do that. So just, like, give me a little bit. But yeah, this is gonna be the last segment we'll talk about. Yeah, so Tulsi Gabbard, of course, if you've been following me for any period of time, if this is your first stream, you should know that Tulsi Gabbard is garbage. But if you've been following me for any period of time, I have been making videos about this weirdo Tulsi Gabbard transphobe bill. And so she's going on fucking Tucker Carlson, right? And by the way, it says former congressman, by the way. Like, I just want to, like, just former congressman. Love to see it. But I'll make that joke again in 5 minutes. Trip on shrooms while watching Tucker. I've never done shrooms. I hope that now I get, like, 60 viewers a stream. I hope that I can stumble upon someone that's gonna, like, not send me illegal things in the mail, because that would be illegal. But, yeah. You know? Hit me up. Reminder, I accept all debate challenges. If you want to debate on, you know, for example, what the best way to, you know, if you just want to have that kind of debate, that's fine. I accept all debate challenges, and we can have it off stream so that we are not bound by terms of service if you'd like to debate such a thing. But anyway, I've never done shrooms. I'm gonna, you know, vaporize some marijuana real quick, and this is totally legal combustibles, of course. God bless. Shout outs to Sunset Lake CBD. They give you the best quality hemp flower. Love it. This is all totally legal. 1000% legal combustibles. I would not ever possibly put anything in my lungs that was illegal because I respect the law. I respect the United States of America. And so I'm just saying that out there. It's just, you know, totally legal combustibles, and they're combusting in a totally legal way. That is legal and not illegal in any fashion. And if you're going to try to tell me I'm doing something illegal, I'm going to very kindly disagree. So look at her fucking face here. Like, she looks like she's sleeping on the bed or something. Like, this is like, if you were to look at Tulsi Gabbard, like, when she's sleeping, and you were to be like that weirdo, like, you know, guy that, like, sleeps over and then, like, takes pictures of you when you sleep, right? Don't you hate when that happens? Right? That looks like Tulsi Gabbard's, like, just laying down, but she's apparently in the middle of speaking. So this is a 3-minute clip. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ, right? Look at this. So this is a 3-minute clip of Tulsi Gabbard going on on Tucker Carlson's show and giving out a little bit more of her manifesto of anti-trans manifesto that she introduced before she left Congress. Her last major act was making sure that trans kids were continuing to be bullied. If transgender children don't get bullied, harassed into suicide, then what else am I going to do with my life? That's what Tulsi Gabbard was thinking. And I want to shout this out too. I did a video going over why Tulsi Gabbard's bill is transphobic. It's okay to have questions. Not everyone's a transgender, like, you know, super intellectual. If you do not know much about trans issues, go watch that other video that I made. You can find it by searching on my channel, like Tulsi Gabbard's anti-trans manifesto or something. You'll find it. Go watch that video. I kind of took that more point by point. And so let's get into this. Again, we all called this. Tulsi Gabbard's going to pivot to the right wing. She's going to run as a Republican later. That's going to be the pivot, right? So now she's on Fox News. She's on Tucker Carlson going on about how trans kids are evil. Let's watch.
Amen and a woman. So if you thought amen was an ancient affirmation.
I just want to say this amen, a woman thing. I covered this yesterday, right? Again, it's just really funny. It's a cute little joke. And would I have thought it's cringe? Probably. But the idea that the right wing is going to talk about how, like, oh, this is the most evil thing. Amen versus a woman. It's literally just a cute joke. Like, these snowflakes are literally getting triggered by a joke. Can you imagine that? These dumbass special snowflake bitches are getting triggered by a joke.
That had nothing at all to do with biological sex. Stand corrected. How does this empower women exactly? That's a question that Tulsi Gabbard, who is a former congressman...
Saying a woman is supposed to empower... It's called a joke, dude. Like, what?
From Hawaii, a Democrat, has been pondering. She introduced a bill last year to stop biological males from participating in women's sports. That bill is expected...
Again, what is a biological male? What does biological mean? Biological literally means it's alive, right? You see my finger, you see my hand, right? Look at this. Do you know what's falling off of my hand? Dead skin, right? Dead skin is just falling off of my hand. Those are no longer alive, right? But what is my hand made of? Living cells. My hand is biological. And you can also make the argument that, you know, biological matter can't exist if it's dead, right? But the term is, biology is the study of life, not the study of things when they're born, right? The study of biology is not studying zygotes or sperm cells. That is not the study of biology. When you think about, oh, what is biology about? Do you think it's just, oh, you study what the DNA code in the sperm cell is? That's biology. It's the sperm cell. That's it. It's the point of when life could maybe exist, and then everything after that doesn't matter, right? So again, there is no such thing as a biological male on the opposite of trans males. Those are not things. All men are biologically men because they are biological and they're men. It's that simple.
To be introduced later this month, and we said former, we didn't mean it because until January 20th, she still serves, and we're thankful for that. Congresswoman, thanks for joining us tonight. So how does it empower women to ban the acknowledgement that women exist?
So, again, what is this fucking framing? What is this fucking... Okay, so you're banning women in existence? So the idea that a woman can exist, right, is predicated upon you making sure trans kids can't play kickball? What? Like... What? Okay, so you want to make sure that 9-year-old or like fucking 13-year-old trans kids can't play kickball in gym class without a mandatory genital check. That's what this bill is in support of. Mandatory genital checks for children before kickball. And somehow that translates to women like we're fighting for the existence of women? What? What?
It absolutely does the very opposite of that, and it's the height of hypocrisy.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
For people who claim to be the champions of rights for women to deny the very biological existence of women. And this recent rule...
Again, deny the biological... What? Like, that's one of my problems, is these people use the term biological because they want to sound smart. That's literally it. That's literally it. They just say that because they want to sound smart.
Did you use the word smart?
That's literally, oh, if I say a big word, it's biological. They're biological. Like, what are we playing, Resident Evil? Are we playing Resident Evil and the fucking T-virus created a tyrant or something? What does that mean? Biological. What? Now, again... If you want to sort sports by physical characteristics, you can do so without attacking trans people, okay? If you want to sort sports by bone density, by hormone levels, if you want to do a blood test and test people's hormones and then find out what fucking weight category they should be in or whatever, that's fine. Okay? That's fine. I think sports are dumb. Sports are arbitrary to begin with. But again, dividing them based on gender is bunk, because women's sports, as they're called, women's sports, have banned cisgender women from their sports because they have naturally high testosterone levels. They have taken no medication. They have made no chemical alterations to their body composition whatsoever. They are a biological creature, right, that has existed in biology, and they are banned from women's sports because they have naturally high testosterone levels. So if we were to just, instead of having women versus men or whatever, we were to just have like arm length or, you know, like height or, you know, like that kind of stuff. If you want to base sports on physical characteristics, be my guest. But when you want to try to have these draconian, ancient fucking, like, categorizations like woman and man in sports, it's ridiculous. All people are different. Do you think a little twink femboy could go after any fucking woman athlete? No. Why? Because all people are different.
Rule change that the House just actually voted and passed on today that you were talking about, removing references to, you know, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters from congressional rules and administration. It's mind-blowing because it shows just how out of touch with reality and the struggles of everyday Americans.
The struggles, yeah, right. In the middle of a pandemic, when people are losing their homes, the real struggles are 12-year-olds being able to play kickball. That's the real struggle. That's the real struggle. I know, you're thinking, how do I pay rent next month? You're thinking, how do I put food on the table? What I'm thinking is, how am I going to send my daughter to school in 8 years and then have her play kickball with a trans person? That's what I'm thinking about, because I'm Tulsi.
The struggles of everyday Americans, people in Congress are, but also it shows that, you know, their first act as this new Congress could have been to make sure that elderly Americans are able to get the COVID vaccine now alongside frontline healthcare workers, elderly Americans who have the highest mortality rates from this virus. But instead of doing something that could actually help save people's lives, they're choosing instead to say, well, you can't say mother or father in any of this congressional language. It's astounding.
Those are not mutually exclusive, by the way. One, you can do both. But again, just because, like, and also, again, so she's mocking the idea that Congress is worried over titles and words instead of pandemic relief. That's what she is talking about. When that's what she did in the last 2 weeks of her congressional term, was instead of working on pandemic relief, she was posting fucking trans kids shouldn't be able to play kickball. So what she is criticizing Congress of doing is literally what she did over the last 3 weeks. Think about that. That's how fucking dumb these people are. And a hypocrisy, I know it's a waste of time to point it out, because hypocrisy never matters to these dumb motherfuckers. But it's interesting, just for the record. Congress did what I did. Well, it's okay when I do it, but when they do it, no, no, no.
It's confusing, too, because the very people who claim to celebrate diversity, differences, and differences are what make the world interesting and worth living in my opinion, are the same ones trying to impose by force this creepy corporate sameness where we're all sort of widgets in a bin waiting for assembly.
Again, what? What is this bizarro world conspiracy theory? The idea of embracing differences is to say, yes, transgender people exist. Yes, all people are different and that should be celebrated equally. Saying that all differences should be celebrated equally is not the same as saying all people should be equal and everything should have, like, you know, like everyone should be like gray blobs in that episode of The Fairly Odd Parents. That's not what they're saying. They're saying, yes, trans people exist. Yes, women exist. And it's better if we refer to as many people as possible with our language than as exclusionarily as possible with our language. I'm sorry, I'm stoned. So for example, when you say they instead of he, you are more inclusive as you are giving more and more people who are different the ability to feel included in your language. It is embracing diversity. But these people are talking about how it's going to make them gray blobs from The Fairly Odd Parents.
Like, do they really think there aren't differences between the sexes? Honestly, sincere question.
I don't know.
Look at the laugh, by the way, of this evil dumb bitch.
Between the sexes? Honestly, sincere.
I'm sorry, I have to.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Question.
I don't know how to answer or explain what they think. And this is why Congressman Markwayne Mullin and I...
Isn't that interesting? Like, this person is going to try to pretend to have, like, a reasonable... Oh, we're just having rational debate. Now, I have no idea the people I'm attacking every single day. I have no idea what they think. That's what she just said. I have no idea what they think, and I couldn't even begin to explain how they think. But I'm going to attack them every day, and I'm the reasonable one. I'm the logical one. I know that I've never spoken to a trans person. I've never even been in the same room as a trans person, and I have no idea what it's like being a trans person. But damn, those trans people are icky and dumb, I say, being a rational adult.
Explain what they think. And this is why Congressman Markwayne Mullin and I, we introduced my legislation, the Protect Women's Sports Act that you briefly mentioned, out of a recognition that this legislation is actually necessary. When you look at why Title IX was created, it was created out of this recognition that there is a...
Again, if you want to make so that all people are equal, and I mean truly equal when they play sports, you would do it based on physical characteristics. Again, do you think a twink femboy is going to be able to go after a bodybuilder woman? No, because one has physical characteristics that put her in a better position for those sports. Now, if we based sports on physical characteristics, everyone can have fun, and it can be as equal as possible of a playing field. Sports should be about fun, not about these bizarro, like, I want all the awards, give me the 15 medals, I'm the winner, I need my own category, so I'm the winner. Like, that's not what sports should be about. Sports should be about having fun, passing the time, enjoying life, right? And they're trying to say, no, if you are a cis woman, and you just happen to have too much testosterone, sorry, you're banned.
Biological distinction between men and women and boys and girls.
Hey, and there's a biological distinction between races, isn't there? I mean, do you want to break out the fucking tape measure? Let's see, what is the width of your skull? Are you allowed to be in the same classroom as me? What is the width of your skull? Hey, they're just differences. Hey, I'm just saying some races have smaller skulls than others. I'm just saying it's a biological reality, right? Therefore, right, we should discriminate based on those things, right? So those physical characteristics exist. I'm just saying, just putting it, and I'm rational, by the way. I'm the rational one.
Distinction between men and women and
yeah, hold up. That's a good one. Hold up.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
All of a sudden, right?
Boys and girls. And it recognized that because of that, there needs to be a level playing field for girls and women to be able to compete and play in sports.
So why not have a variation based on physical characteristics?
Now, the reason why our bill is necessary to strengthen and clarify and uphold Title IX is because of the things that you're talking about, because there are people who are trying to undermine the very reason why Title IX was...
Tucker's always got this, like, NPC confused face on. Like, you know, like when you're playing Fallout 3 or The Elder Scrolls 4, and the NPCs, like, it zooms in on their face and they've got this, like, plastic face. And it's just like, and the face glitches up, and like, you know, like that's what Tucker Carlson's face looks like all the time. Like literally, look, like it's the same. Like you go to any point in the video and it's the same fucking face. He's got the same face every time. Like, it's just like, what? Is this a real person?
Because there are people who are trying to undermine the very reason why Title IX was put in place by denying my existence. Denying the existence of...
Again, what is this dumb fuck bitch talking about? What a dumb fuck, dumbass little dumb bitch fucking whore. What is she talking about? What is she They're denying my existence. What does that mean? Now, one of the common things that people say about trans people is, oh, you always talk about your identity, they say. Oh, all you are is trans. Your identity is all you talk about. Whereas this dumb bitch is going out there saying, if you don't acknowledge my identity, then I don't exist. What? So, like, you would be gone? You'd be dead without your womanhood? What? And if that's the case, why not extrapolate that to transgender people? Why not say they would be dead without their womanhood or manhood, you know, depending on, like, what, like, why does that not extend to all people? Huh? It's almost like you're discriminating against people based on physical attributes
of biological women. It defies common sense. It defies basic established science. It just doesn't make any sense.
So you're telling me that you're gonna let gay kids in school? Whoa. So you're telling me you want me to send my daughter to a school with a homosexual? What? Are you fucking kidding me? You want me to send my son to school with a homosexual? Are you denying the biological science of what separates men and women? The established science? The gays have AIDS. Are you going against the established science right now? The gays all have AIDS, and you want to put the AIDS gay in the same class as my beautiful daughter or son? That's just anti-science. It's the same fucking shit. Same fucking dumbass bullshit, different fucking decade with these goons. That's what she is. She's a fucking goon. She's not a brave fighter. She's a fucking loser. And a loser, I might add, that happens, in the words of our
Only
president.
the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I can't. But yeah, that's it. Damn, I always get triggered when I see Tulsi. I always get triggered. Max, why are you barking? Yo, Max is like, hold up, check this out. Max has got a pile of my socks on the floor. Max, what is that? Why are my socks on the floor? I didn't put them there. What are you doing? What is this dog doing? Anita on Chuck Grassley saying you'll be presiding over the electoral stuff tomorrow since they don't expect that. Oh, that's really funny. Holy shit, that's really funny. $100 says Tulsi will be a paid contributor. Oh, yeah. 6 months. 5 months even. You're streaming so much, I'm not catching up. I know, I'm sorry. What breed is Max? We don't fucking know. Yeah, so again, thank you for watching today's show. I will be live again tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's in 8 hours from now. I'll try to set up this, the stream page very shortly. So that will be live, and I've got a few more other topics I'm going to touch on, and then in between those segments we'll be looking at the election updates, and so that's what I'm going to do tonight, and we'll see how it goes. So again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate the continued support that I'm getting. Over the last few weeks I have gotten a lot of new people here, and again, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you like the product that I'm shilling. And hopefully I can get that corporate paycheck soon. I sent my resume to MSNBC, and I'm trying to get on MSNBC right now because I'm a paid shill. And so we'll see if they respond, and I'll keep y'all posted. But again, thank you so much, and I will see you again in about 8 hours from now. So there you go. Isn't that going to be wonderful? Isn't that going to be wonderful? God damn. I want to listen to this again.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before. Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
good. Believe me, not good. Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
I gotta go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black, and you ain't black.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall. Every fucking one of them show up today at our town hall. Show up today at our town hall. They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month and they won't come out and address my progressive audience.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the Tim Kaine. Watch Hillary examine the...
They had a very bad original concept.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
Let me just tell you, I get along with everybody, which is my obligation to my company, to myself, etc. Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from 15 to 45 billion a year. School, not daycare. School, not daycare. School, not daycare. School, not daycare. School. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear word. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background, will hear full school, not daycare. School, very poor school.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield.
So the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 billion to combat Asian carp, $2.5 billion to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt.